Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for taking the time to be with us here today. My name is Walid Ali Din, and I will be your host for this session on gamification and game-based learning. I'm also would like to take some time to remind you about the session's setup. Okay. If you're not speaking, make sure that your microphone is muted. Before you speak, go ahead and make sure that your microphone is unmuted. If you face any technical issues, just log out and log back in again. You can also use interactions or reactions for giving us quick feedback. Okay, you can have the reactions from here, or you can go ahead all the way and show the ribbon and choose reactions from the menu. This session is being recorded, and the recordings are always available on our NOP2 folder publicly for anyone at AUS. I'm pleased to have two of our distinctive instructors at AUS. I have Ms. Jennifer Abu Hassan and Ms. Raja Malik, who's going to be showing their experience with gamification and game-based learning tools. Ms. Raja is a senior instructor at the Achievement Academy and Bridge program. She's been teaching English for more than 25 years. She taught in the US, Saudi Arabia, and France. She has a master's degree in arts and in linguistics from Cornell University, and she is passionate about teaching and enjoys working with her students. Her research interests include vocabulary learning and teaching. Also, her research focuses on innovative teaching strategies, and more recently, utilizing gamification to optimize student engagement with the learning process. Thank you very much, Ms. Raja, for joining us. And thank you, Ms. Jennifer. Ms. Jennifer is also a senior instructor in the Academy program, and she's been teaching in the US for 20 years. She used to teach here at the university, even since this program was called the IEP, or the Intensive English Program. Ms. Jennifer says that she enjoys pretty much barbecuing and having chai karak, and also, beside that, tormenting her students. We'll see how Ms. Jennifer will show us this during her time during this session. All right. This session will be like 3 parts. I'm going to give a quick intro, not more than 10 minutes. And actually, while I'm doing that now, I'm going to go ahead and start timing myself. And after that, I have like just few questions for both Ms. Jennifer and Raja before they go ahead and show us what they going to show. And then we'll open the floor for any questions. It's up to them, of course, to tell you if you would like to ask them any questions during their presentation. For me, please go ahead. If you have any question during what I'm saying, okay, go ahead and raise your hand or just come directly to the microphone. And I would like to start by showing you this. Do we know what is this on the screen? Absolutely. You are right. Like if you said it's the periodic table of elements, you are right. Okay. But what if I did this? I took it all out. And now I will ask you to remember every element on the periodic table of elements. Will you be able to do that? You will tell me you're kidding, right? You're gonna go and tell me right away, Walid, you are just kidding. Like, I cannot do that. Okay. Yeah, we got the periodic table of elements at school, but who's gonna remember all of that? Let me tell you, there is another table, Okay. Oh man, I just blew up the surprise. So there is another table. You already know what table is this now. Okay. And that table has more cells, way more cells than the periodic table of elements, and millions around the world. Like they remember this table by heart because they did not learn it. They played it. They played it part of Pokemon. And here's the table again. And this is the number of people who are currently still playing Pokemon. Okay, it's not gaining grounds like before, but there are millions of people who are still playing Pokemon. And because they are playing it, they need to know most of these abilities of Pokemon characters, and these abilities are in that endless table I showed you. So this is just a game, okay? It's not used in learning. It's not used in education. But I'm going to show you just quick examples of games that are used in education. This is a game called Remission. It teaches students or kids how to fight cancer, okay? It will give them missions, and through these missions, they need to identify certain types of cells, and then they will need to determine how to fight these cells. This is another game called Foldit, designed at the University of Washington. Foldit teaches students how to come up with new proteins. Students will get also assignments to go and find new proteins. And there is a project going on right now. Students are using this to categorize the proteins of COVID-19. This is another game. It talks about the 1979 revolution in Iran. As a student, you will get the character of a journalist and go interview people and know about the Iranian Revolution. This is a game about the Renaissance art. You are an art merchandiser in Florence, and you decide on which art to buy, which art not to buy. You will get missions also to archive this art. You will know about artists from their art. But my favorite game that I would like to show you is called Variant Limits. This is a game based on calculus. Let me play a video. It's just like less than 1 minute, and you will understand what this game is about. It also you need to go into missions and solve calculus problems.
Later in this chapter, the player will see functions that are not continuous. They have a break in them, like this one. If the player experiments with the position of this platform, they'll get closer and closer to their objective, having the beam hit that node at the top. But when it nearly gets there, the platform jumps over. This is because of the discontinuity in the function. To get the correct position output, the player needs to take a limit, in this case a limit from the left, to get the correct output of 2. The player can select each type of limit, and will need each one multiple times throughout the chapter.
Excellent. I actually went on and downloaded the game, and it's something that out of this world, really. If you're teaching calculus to your students, okay, this is an excellent thing that you can allow your students to do. And the whole idea about using games in education is that games allow us to fail, okay? It gives us that opportunity to fail and try again. And we should ask ourselves, should our classrooms do that as well? Should we allow our students to fail and try again? And the other thing is that games are designed for mastery, okay? You cannot move to the next level without achieving whatever you need to do in that level. Imagine that I tell you, you are in a race, like 100 meters race, and you are the fastest one, but you ran only for 90 meters. You're not getting anything because you did not cross the finish line. Imagine if I tell you that, oh, your pilot for today is an excellent pilot. He gets it 90% of the times. Would you like to be on that flight? Like, no, of course, I would like a pilot who will get it 100% of the times. 90% of the time, this is an A student in our classrooms, because our classrooms are not designed for the same concepts a game is designed for. But how games are designed? Why some games are really addictive and brings the best in people? Because it's designed on our hierarchy of needs. Okay, we need to achieve. Okay, so a famous author called Daniel Pink, in his book Drive, the surprising truth about what motivates us, Daniel suggests that in the pursuit of self-actualization, okay, there are three more motivational factors. We need to find purpose. We need to feel that we are in control, autonomous, and we need to see evidence that we achieved mastery. So another guy, really passionate about gamification, he's a professor of instruction technology, called Carl Kapp, has identified 8 elements. Okay, he built on that. Okay, 8 elements. If you take these 8 elements and design your gamification based on these 8 elements, you will have a successful gamification or game-based learning. The first one is we need to design mastery in the game. You need to you need to design mystery in the game. Okay, so you need to add some mystery in it. Okay, hide some information, give students missions to find the information. You need to have it to put action in it. Okay, you can start right away by making a learner taking a decision that they will take them from one point to another point until every aspect of the learning unit has been covered. You need to have it, you need to design challenge. You need to make your students feel that they are at risk. For example, okay, you can design an additional quiz for those people who do not score a specific benchmark on a previous quiz. You need to design uncertainty of outcome. Okay, you probably can create a midterm exam based on 2 attempts. Okay, and you tell your students, okay, you have 2 attempts, but your grade will be an average of the 2 attempts. Of course, you need to design that midterm exam, for example, to have the questions pulled out from a large random pool. You also give them an opportunity for mastery. Oh, my time is up, but I only have few extra slides to go. Give them visible signs of progress. Okay, make sure that they know that they are progressing through the course, and then design emotional content in it. Why people are will always remember things that triggered an emotional response to them. Okay, that's why people who are teaching using narratives, converting case studies into interesting stories, involving the students in these things trigger emotional response to them, and that emotional response will always trigger that ability of retrieving information and engraving learning. So before I go and give it and ask, and I have some questions to our guests for this afternoon. There are two ways you can do this in your classroom. Either do just gamification, which is just get some elements from games and employ it in your course, or create some games, some educational games. And we will see from both Jennifer and Roger how to do this. So the game inspired elements can be the environment itself of your course, can look like a game. Okay, you can incorporate badges or achievement awards, and there are ways to do that in the LMS in our Blackboard. You can replace your grades and call them experience points. You can provide students with some kind of a choice in their learning path. Okay, you can tell them you either can do this activity or do that activity, and these two activities are linked to the same learning outcome or to the same learning objective of your learning units. But if you use games, okay, so make sure that when you design like something like the ones we're going to show you in a while, okay, it will go ahead and meet a specific learning objective. And samples of the games that I showed you, okay, it's the students will learn from playing that game that looks like the calculus game that I showed you earlier. And this can be used, you can use this by commercial or educational oriented games. All these games are really good examples of promoting critical thinking and problem solving. You can also think about simulations as games. Okay, so you can give your students a simulation, and at the end of the simulation, there should be some kind of achievement for your students. Now, let me stop sharing my screen, okay? And before giving the floor to who would like to go first? Okay. All right. Before giving the floor to Jennifer, okay, I would like to ask you like a simple question, okay? Like, how long have you been using games with your students? You have been here for 20 years, okay? Have you been using games since day one of your teaching, or just like recently? And yes, go ahead.
Okay. As far as e-games, of course, it's kind of rather recent. But games-wise, because I'm in charge of student activities, so I do tend to send students out there, take them on field trips, and then on the field trips, they have to do some sort of treasure hunt, took them to the archaeological sites, different stuff that sometimes we need to get students out of the classroom. Even, descriptive essay, took them to the student center, go walk around, find a restaurant, describe a restaurant, write an essay. So in a way, it's not virtually a game outside the classroom.
What you have been doing for how long?
More than 20 years.
If you do not remember, then you have been doing this for a long time. Okay?
Yeah.
And from your answer, I understand that games can happen in any setting. It doesn't have to be on a computer screen, right? Okay. You said that you take your students out on probably on a treasure map mission. Okay. All right. Like, excellent. What about you, Roger? Like, have you been using games also for a long time?
So basically, it has been part of my teaching philosophy for as long as I remember. I just noticed that it takes students into another level of engagement and fun and excitement. The element of competition, so they're competing, you put them into two groups, you play charade with them. Of course, it has to be linked to, as you said, some course outcomes, learning objectives, and then they are so much involved and they are engaged. And therefore, I knew that I wouldn't want to give that up. So it's been there ever since I, noticed the magic of gamification. But then, as you said, with the digital age, we just moved into more of an e-gamification than the real, the face-to-face, I would say, games.
You said something about competition in the classroom. Don't you think that competition might be sometimes problematic for you or for the students?
I honestly thought of it and looked at it as the opposite. It's a team builder component. I feel like when you put them into groups and you make them compete, they find ways to, you know, to coordinate, to collaborate, you know, in order for them to win. You know, so it's that element of competition that we need, and I felt like it was actually quite beneficial, honestly.
All right. Let me go back to Jennifer. And let me ask you this, Jennifer. Okay, you have been doing this for 20 years. Okay, can you remember a time that you had to do a lot of tweaks, or you discovered that something is now working? Give us some examples of how did you tweak a game that you designed that did not work at the beginning, and why? If there's no example, okay, well, we'll just accept this as an answer.
Um, Honestly, most of the games did work. I can't, of course, with e-games, you keep tweaking, right? Because the technology changes, you know, the app gets better, and then you're like, wow, now I can do this, or something that you couldn't do before. Then you keep adding different exercises. One of the first games that I did was actually in Malaysia. I've been teaching for nearly 30 years, but in AUS for about 20. So in Malaysia, I even, you know, rented a bus. We went to the beach, and the students had to pick up trash. So this was nearly 30 years ago. They had to pick up trash, and then they had to write down where was it from: Japan, Korea, Thailand, you know. So we brought garbage bags, and they had a list. And I guess back then, you know, when there was really no computers, but the students had fun. And then at the very end, for 10 minutes, we played beach volleyball. So most of the games do work out. I can't really think of any that really tank. Just that, yes, as you said, we do keep tweaking it according to the apps.
Right.
You know, updates. The
That's
updates.
interesting to have people just go out and while they are out, okay, they can you have these activities that can build on the content of any learning setting. Let me go one last time to Raja. And Raja, you have been teaching language for a long time. Can you tell us very quickly the significance of learning games with language learning? Like why games in language learning?
Well, language learning is, you know, tedious for adults, and the subjects, the students that we have definitely are teenage to, you know, in their teenage years to their adulthood, and they're actually, it's not easy, you know, for you at that point, from even a scientific point of view, to build you know, language skills. So the element of gamification, I felt, just made it a little bit, you know, easier on them. It adds that element of fun that they're looking for. Students in our program, remember, they don't want to be in our program. They just want to be in their major. So the fact that it's that lack of language skills that keeps, you know, that kept them a little bit behind compared to their, colleagues or other students, peers in their majors. You know, without that gamification element, they are bored, they don't want to be with us, they're always complaining. So the fact that we managed to add a little bit of, you know, spices to that experience, I think it helps. It helps. Especially, you know, now our program, of course, has gone, I don't know whether you know or not, has gone through, you know, changes throughout. And the most recent one is actually this year. We're experimenting with a new, program where students are not, you know, with us for 15 hours a week. It's definitely less, and they have more choices to take, you know, classes in, you know, in their major as well. So it's definitely better. But before this, it was, you know, quite tough on them to be taking just pure language classes for, you know, 15 hours with the same instructor, etc. So having that element, you know, the gamification element definitely made it easier both on them and on us as well. Because when we see them engaged and when we see them having fun, it also, in a way, it's reciprocal. We, you know, we're motivated as well to work with them. to give more, to interact more, etc.
Yeah, excellent. Like, and language learning is a whole domain by itself, and social interaction plays a great role in the advancement of learning. So this is the time in this event where I'm going to give you the floor, and let's see what you have for us. I'm going to go ahead and start with Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer, the floor is yours, and
Okay.
go ahead and see how we can use tools of gamification and game-based learning in teaching and learning. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. I'm going to do it in a very practical way, and let me see. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We can see your screen.
So why I gave you such a short introduction to myself, because I felt like let's do it in a practical way. Not many people know about the AABP, and so let's start. Instead of using PowerPoint, I'm gonna use Kahoot. Sorry, I went to edit instead of play. My bad. Okay. Okay, let's play. Present. Classic. Okay, I would like everybody to start playing, because let's see how much do you know about us in the AABP. I have can you guys hear the Halloween song?
All right, so we need to go to this website, right? We need to go to Kahoot.com and then use that game pen to join the game. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to go right now and do it. Okay, and I'm going to encourage. I encourage everyone to do the same.
Kahoot.com. No, sorry, Kahoot.it, and then 997-1920.
All right.
Yay. So remember, I'm not using a PowerPoint. I'm using this Kahoot game as my PowerPoint. And I hope to inspire a lot of you about, on how to use gamification in your classes.
All right.
Raja, where are you? Sandinista. Are we having a coup here?
Jen, I thought I'm not allowed to play. Hey, I know all the answers.
Oh, you think you know all the answers? Maybe. Let's see. Let's see.
All right, let's play.
Okay. You have to type the answer. What's the first initial?
Oh, of AABP?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the first initial of the AABP?
Oh. It says time's up.
Two of you got it. Good job. So as you can see, that if you use this feature, the students, you tell them 11 letters, they'll start spelling, misspelling, and you can give achievement, achieve, if you want to give half a point, and then it'll be up on the screen. So, but it's really funny to see their wrong answers. We have fun with that. There you go. Okay, so we are the Achievement Academy Bridge program. Multiselect. What do people call us by? There's two choices. Only one answer? Okay, so we are known as the AA, not Alcoholic Anonymous, but close enough. Sometimes we do seem drunk when we leave our jobs, right, Raja? Okay, people either call us the Bridge or AA. But unfortunately, we're not the academy and we're not VP. Okay. Oh, Mitch, good job. Good job. Okay, let's go on. Another multi-select. Yes, now I'll talk about me. I am from Malaysia, but there's 2 other people who are also from Malaysia who works for AUS. Okay. Let's see how many of you can get this right. Yes, Norita, most of you knew. And Dr. Ming in engineering, he's also from Malaysia. However, he did go to Australia to get his PhD. And from there, he got his Australian citizenship. But the 3 of us, when we get together, we speak in our language. So Norita, I think everybody knew, but Dr. Ming, I'm not too sure if you guys knew. So yes, the 3 of us are from Malaysia. So a bit about me. Cisco, good job. Good job, Cisco. Is that you, Walid?
No, Walid is Walid.
Oh, Walid is Walid. Okay. Yes, who's the director of our program? Our wonderful Miss Jessica. Yes, Jessica March. So, as you can see, I'm introducing Jessica, and you can do this in your classrooms when you're introducing yourself. Yeah. Okay, let's go, because I have a lot to do. What do you think? False. Oh. We met the second week. So we don't have group A, group B. We're trying really hard to go back face to face. Unfortunately, every class has 1, 2, or 3 students still out there for different reasons. But yes, we have been meeting face to face since the second week. Okay, Cisco on fire. Let's go. Choose the right answer. Let's see. Do you know where we are? Where are we? What are we? How are we?
So these quizzes are timed, right?
Yes, you can time them 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Yes, we are in the main building on the 3rd floor, and not many people know this, but we used to be the former library. Before the library moved to the current location, we used to be the library, and then they shoved us out here, turn off the lights, and we are basically flowers in the attic. Okay, but yeah, if you guys want to visit us, come to the main building, 3rd floor, we are here. Okay, yeah, you guys didn't know that we were the former library, the location at least. Oh, too many multi-selects. Let's see if you know what we teach up here and what we do. Okay, yes, our students, other than language classes where we teach them reading, writing, listening, speaking, vocabulary, all those skills, they can also take the lower level courses in math and physics initially. And currently they can also take Arabic heritage and mass comm classes. As I said, usually the OO level classes. So our students are not only with us up here, they also go out there. So just math. Okay, so now you're getting to know more about us. Sandinista, planning a coup again. Let's see if you can answer this. All of it. Yeah, the students can choose internal electives. We have internal electives, 3 hours per week in social media, cinema, university skills, and soccer. They choose what they want. And we're having a fun time with them. Yeah, this is 3 hours a week. So they don't feel like they're just doing language. They can do the major courses, and they do have electives and learning everything they want to about cinema, soccer, social media, and good stuff, university skills. Okay.
Shifa, you had something else other than Kahoot, because I'm looking at the time and we are.
Yeah. I'll try to yeah. Okay, shall I just skip? Because there's a few features that I wanted to talk about. So let me skip. The answer is true. I'll go to, okay. Yes, we teach.
And I'm not
Raja
doing
said
this
that, yeah.
because
I'm going to go to one more feature. Yeah. So to give an idea, yeah. So yes, Raja talked about this, that we do teach 15 hours. So because of that, how do we mix it up? How, our students are doing between 15 to 18 hours to 21 hours sometimes. So what can we do because they meet every day, what can we do to make it different? Okay. Of course, the formal library. Yes, this one. I would like to see if you guys can do this one. This is also another new feature. So when we teach essays, we tell students, do this, and then this, and this, and this, and they have to remember. So basically, brainstorm, write an outline, make sure you write the thesis and topic sentences. Yeah. So these are the things that I hope give you guys idea on, say, this bugs me. This is my pet peeve. They never know how to spell dear. Yeah. So I use this question again and again because they keep messing up. So repetition is also good. Repetition is also good. Yeah. Dear house. Oh, somebody choose THIER. Okay.
Oh,
so
that's me.
Yeah. So things that, pet peeves that you want them to not repeat that same mistake, keep throwing it at them. Give Kahoot at the beginning of class, make them punctual, because you say, okay, I'll take some, another of my pet peeve that, bear or bear. I see this a lot online. Okay. So, yep. So basically that's it. I'll stop this one right now. Yeah, this is some content. This one, if you guys can get this is great. This is something that they did, and let me just finish it. Yeah. Okay. This is tell me and I'll forget, show me, I may remember, involve me and I'll understand. And so for this, this is exactly what gamification is about. Yeah. When we talk to them, they forget. When we show them, they might remember, but when we involve them in the game. Yeah. A lot of times people attribute this quote to Confucius or Benjamin Franklin, but actually it's by this guy, Jun Kwang, and there's books with that quote. So I like that quote a lot because gamification is exactly this quote. And Jamie Brooker, the founding partner of Kahoot, he says, sometimes we are too focused on teaching tools. What teaching tools can IT get? What teaching tools do the department need? So I attended this talk by him in Finland, and he talked about, let's focus on learning tools. How do they want to learn? How do we want to teach them where they want to learn? So yes, gamification is fun, exciting, but also it's informative. It adds interactive learning. Engages the student, as both of you had said. It increases the appeal of the learning process. And there's so many things. Repetition. If they cannot get something right, put it on game again and again until they get it right. Usually twice and they'll get it. Punctuality. I use Kahoot to get them into the classroom, like 5 bonus points if they can get to the classroom to answer the 5 bonus points. So, initially they were really slow because they have been online for nearly 2 years, but now they rush to the class because of, because of Kahoot, and they know they have to nail those 5 questions. Good for you, Mitch.
I have an idea.
Yes.
I did not get most of the questions correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned a lot. Some of the mistakes that I did, okay, and then I knew the correct answer, I will never forget.
No. And because you're involved in it, like the I'll throw it out twice, principal or principal, PAL. And the students then they don't get it wrong. They don't make that same mistake again, because repetition is good and they learn. We involve them. The second one I want to show you is SEPO. Can you guys see SEPO? I'll try to hurry through this, Raja. I'm so sorry.
Take your time.
Can you see, Seppo?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see, our license haven't been renewed, so I couldn't make a game for this, but I would like to show you a couple of things that Amazing Race was what I did in the past whenever we had the global, the AUS Club Fair. It's a good way to get the students out of the classroom to look at stuff. So for example, these are all the questions, yeah, Bollywood. Yeah, and these are the exercises you could use: creative exercise, video, audio, multiple choice, checkbox. So I told them, find this place, yeah, and strike a Bollywood pose in front of this gorgeous cloth. So, you know, they have to run out, and it was really successful because the students, they want to beat each other. Competition is really good. So let's see, this group got 70 out of 70. Let's show. This is their Bollywood pose. So they ran out there and they posed, they had Bollywood poses, and, you know, let's look at another one. Okay, so they had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun with going out there and being active. Yeah, so I think teaching is not just in the classroom. You need to get them out there. However, Seppo can also be used on offline and at home. So this was something I gave to the students because they had to read the unit. It was a tough unit to read. So I wanted them to do an open book study. So I gave them this Seppo game. You can start the game, you know, you can limit them to an hour, 2 hours, certain time. And then so they had to go in and what's the capital city of, you know, Angkor was established as the capital city of the empire of, when was it? When was Angkor established? So here's the right answer. Yeah. And what else did I do? Let's match up. So they had to match up. Yeah. This was a vocabulary. So they had to look at the red words in the chapter and look up the definition. So, you know, they could take their time to look through all the vocabulary. Yeah. And get this right. Yeah. And one last one, I think King Me. So here's a king and King Me. So who founded the Khmer Empire? And so they had to read these things in the book. So not only is gamification for in class and to get them totally engaged and active, but you can also use gamification for at home. And this is one of the, you know, both of them have leaderboard, and this kid picked up badges. You can make badges for them. Yeah, so just as you had mentioned before, in a way, it's like game-based where they collect badges, they can get on the leaderboard. And I think, yeah, I'm done. I'm so sorry, Raja.
Oh, but let me ask you a question about this screen, okay? So
yeah.
This is not the student view, right?
No, this is the student view.
But what happens if you click play over there?
I click the play, but they get this view. They get the Angkor Wat, they get the Angkor Wat, and all of these icons they can see. So they see the picture and they see the icons.
All right.
Yeah. And in fact, with Seppo, they can also be a game instructor. We can make them into a game instructor up here. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Jennifer. That was really interesting.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
We move now to Raja. Go ahead.
Thanks, Raja. Sorry.
No problem.
Time.
And in order for Raja to share the screen, I think, Jennifer, you need to stop sharing your screen.
Okay, wait a second. You guys are in my way. Okay.
And probably I can do it from one.
Okay. Can you do it? Yeah, I'm trying to stop. Okay, there you go.
Okay, well, thank you, Jen. That was very interesting indeed. Okay, let me see. Present. Am I presenting now? Can you see me?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, great. Okay, well, Jen, am I still presenting or I got out?
You got out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, but you can do the presentation again. Yeah, you can just.
Okay, so I guess I just need to be on this
slide. Yes.
Yeah, big screen. Okay, so Jen focused on Kahoot, and it is something that I like and that I use also a lot. I am gonna show you two other gamification tools that I've been using and I found quite useful and engaging to our students. The first one is Quizlet. My colleagues know me as the person who is in love with Quizlet. And Quizlet, and with its basically the online component, the homework, I mean, you can assign activities that are, differentiated. I mean, you can assign different activities to students according to their level, according to, what they can do as well. And also with the online, sorry, the live component of it, which is the game that you can play with them in class, either individually or in groups. So let me just show you a bit of what I know about Quizlet. And the good thing about Quizlet, of course, is the fact that it is not just with language. It's not just about language. It's everything. In fact, I just remember, when I started getting so much involved with Quizlet, how my daughter, who happened to be, who had her degree from in Canada from McGill, she was taking her business class, and I was talking to her here, and I said, so how are you going to study for it? She said, oh, Mom, I have this midterm, whatever, in business. And I said, how are you going to study? She said, oh, for business, don't worry, I have Quizlet. I was like, oh, okay, so it's all over. And then I went and I got so interested in it's business, it's biology, it's physics, it's everything. So it's this basically practice, repetition, as Jen just said. It's just to really lead you to that mastery point that Walid also was mentioning. And of course, it has the element of, again, if you're doing it in class, then it's the element of competition. So students from basically, from high school to college, they all want, that extra element of practice and fun, engaging study tool, and Quizlet offers that. So the Quizlet Live element is this one, is an in-class game that we can help students review information while working together in teams. I struggled with this when we were online because it was hard and time-consuming to match the teams that Quizlet create, because it's random. Students just log in with a code, and then they are systematically grouped, randomly grouped by the system. So I had to wait for the system to group them, and then I'll do and customize, the groups in breakout groups in Blackboard Collaborate. This way they could work together. But when I do it in class, honestly, a couple of times I presented this at conferences here in the region, and I actually took a video, of the students as they were, excited, the involvement, the engagement, the fun that they actually have when they play Quizlet Live in teams is amazing. It's really amazing. So that's a part that I always cherish when I do this with them. As I said, so it's easily differentiate, review for your students. Students have another way to prepare for tests. They always, until this very moment, I always say, tell students, because of course we teach language, and vocabulary is a big thing. And, so students would always come and say, Miss, I studied this in Quizlet. Thank you for that. And then, so I have Quizlet, and then I also wanted to see, how people, view Quizlet, and the reviews are, still good, very good, in fact, for Quizlet. The other one, and I'm gonna go, I don't know if you need a demo or not, but I think I'm going to skip the demo for now and see, because I think we might be. But the second tool that I also love is Quizzes.com. And Quizzes, as much as it has also, it doesn't have the activities, that Quizlet offers. Rather, it has these quizzes, a review evaluation that you can get into Excel sheets later on. You can check, where your students basically need support, need a re-instruction, etc. So this is, but at the same time, it is, it plays this role of formative assessments and in a very engaging way. So I also, use quizzes a lot, and same thing with the quizzes. I found that it's used in not just in language, in every single domain. I found physics, engineering, bio, math. I was also honestly, basically surprised to see that it's not just us, as in the language program that is who is using quizzes. Rather, it's every single almost a lot of other, I would say, subjects. So again, you give them an access code. Same thing for, by the way, let me just go back a bit. Quizzes also can be assigned for homework, so it can be done as a lesson, an assignment to be done, and they take the test, etc. And you see the results because I create classes. And then you can also do the competition, the timed competition, online, in class, in groups or individually. And then you can see also they see the board. They can see when they make a mistake and they have to go all the way back. Or you can also get the results. You can go back to the question that, only 60% had the question right. And then you can go back and review the answers with them, etc. Okay. What else? So as I said, and honestly, I have created my own quizzes. I have taken quizzes that are already made, among them hundreds of quizzes that are available there. I edit the ones, I took sometimes some and I edit them, etc. So you have, the good thing is that you have a database of a multitude of quizzes that you can start with, or you can at least edit, or you can create ones just for the lesson that you have in that a day or the week or whatever. Again, I went and reviewed the reviews for quizzes, and it seems to be quite good. So both teachers and students are happy with the reviews of both quizzes and Quizlet. So now, before I move on, I don't know what time is it, honestly, because I'm on the big screen, but I don't think I have time, honestly, to write, Walid, because I'm done.
Go ahead.
But if you have
that was
questions,
something I think everyone would like to see, like an example of
sure. Yes.
either quizzes or Quizlet.
Okay. Let me see if it's, oh no, okay. You know what, I have them open here, so I'm gonna stop sharing this. And I will probably just, I don't know why this is not working. And I can just share. Am I sharing now?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, you have, I have you have the quizzes library. This is my account. It's a basic account, by the way. You can upgrade it. It becomes, you have to pay. It's not for free. I have my own library, and the library has things that I've made, and you can put them into collections according to what themes, courses, etc. I have essay writing here, reading activities, sentence structure, etc. And then you get the reports, you get the classes. So here I have my classes, and every semester I have, of course you can relate this, like the results can go straight into Google Classroom if you're using Google Classroom and these other platforms. So this is for quizzes. Let me, I don't know if I can show you how to play one thing, for instance, so this is what I mean by assign for homework and start a live quiz. Am I still sharing?
Yes,
As in-
yes,
yeah,
yes. I'm
okay.
actually eager to see a live quiz.
Oh, you would like to see a live
Yeah,
quiz?
yeah.
Okay, do we have some time? Sure. Let me play this as a live quiz.
We have a few minutes.
Yes, sure.
Now click on continue, up, continue.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
And that was hidden by, okay.
All right.
So, yeah, so I'm going to share with you this info.
Joinmyquiz.com. So what we need to do is to go to joinmyquiz.com and enter that join code.
Yeah, I can.
Joinmyquiz.com. Okay. And the join code is 163046.
Okay, great. Thank you.
163046.
Okay, waiting.
And
2, 3. Do I have more people?
you go ahead and start with the people. that you-
Okay, okay. So this is how it looks like. So I just muted the song, but I hope you can still hear me, right? The music. Can you still hear me?
We can still hear you, yes.
Okay. So as you can see, we have the leaderboard here, but we also have the questions. So any point or at any time, you can still, stop and make a reference to the questions. And here is the accuracy. So it's 89% accuracy, and then you can check that. But of course, later on, all of these can be also checked and reviewed, and can be also, as I said, turned into an Excel sheet with the results of each participating student. Okay, so I'm gonna see. So here are the questions. Okay, so the questions would appear with, of course, the correct answers and how many people made mistakes, etc., etc. Okay, is this clear? So allow me to end because I might need to go in the, so I'm gonna stop sharing this. Okay, and maybe you want me to go back if I still have time to also Quizlet?
I see people still there.
Okay, so let me then give you an idea about Quizlet.
I see this this game setup, okay? I'm just speaking about myself when I was answering these questions right now. What I felt is that there was some kind of a pressure on me to go ahead and make sure that I appear in the leaderboard because all other players or all other students are there, and I wanted to secure a higher place. Okay, so the motivation factor was really, really even I know that this is not my course, this is not a course, this is not really something official, and we are doing a presentation on gamification. Still I was really pushed forward to make sure that I'm doing the correct answer.
Yes.
Okay,
right.
So imagine this in a real setting, not in a presentation like this.
Sure. And what I find even more interesting, Walid, is when they're playing in groups, because when they're playing it in groups, they would be the element of competition becomes even bigger, but at the same time, it builds really a sense of, they want to sit next to each other. If this is prior to COVID, believe me, now we are doing the 1 meter distance, social distancing. But prior to that, they would be, okay, good. No, you're going to put your phone on the desk. Okay, I want to see it. You don't press until we decide as a team. Okay, so it's really the time pressure, and they are negotiating. It's really an amazing, as I said, scene to see students playing in groups, building, the decision making is being negotiated, etc. It's really, as I said, exciting. I just love it. So this is another, setup for Quizlet. So as you can see, I have the Quizlet, the teacher account, and here the same thing.
Anyone who might have a question,
please do go ahead.
Yeah,
here
okay.
I have my folders, my classes.
Yeah.
I have question.
So you go ahead, Raja. Like anyone has a question will come up. Yeah.
Okay. So again, you can create classes, folders for each class, etc. And then you can definitely. So I can show you one example of So when I said it's differentiated, it's these activities that you can assign, or you can let them choose. It really depends on what you want to do, but it's the live one that can be only. So the students won't see this when I give them, let's say, 2 activities for each lesson, and I say choose 2 activities, let's say the test and match, or gravity and test, or learn and test or match, whatever. They see all of this, but they don't see live. And I think a lot of students love anyways to be doing these activities at home because it prepares them. So they don't look back at the text, for instance, to know their vocabulary words, or to remember them to study before a test. They just go and do Quizlet because they find it fun. And it is fun because gravity is like one of the video games that they play, match as well. It's really, you have things, I can show you, in fact, So it's a start the game, and they have to match, the definition, the word to the definition. I'm not going to go through that. The gravity, it really looks like a gravity. And they have to start, and they can choose which level, like any other game, and start. And as you can see, so they need to type in. I can imagine this being a biology test or a physics test, whatever. It's the same principle. And then what I do is I play the live game with them, and the live game, as you can see, it could be played individually or in teams. And the one, as I said, that I love, that lots of, but it could, of course, sometimes I just play it individually, most of the time, in fact. But this one is, as I said, has more, competition. But if you play it individually, then you can select which one do the definition in term or term and definition. And then you select one. And then, of course, same, you will have the QR code or a game link. I just posted on the chat, or now they just, basically scan the QR code and they're in. And then, you play the game, you create the game, you play it, and there's a lot of fun as well. Okay.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Thank you. So I hope that you liked the presentation, and if you have any questions, please let us know.
We are actually did not go over time that much. Thank you very much, Raja. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for anyone who attended to today. What we before we go, the last teaching and learning hour, we spoke about flipping the classroom, and we focused on what the flipped classroom looks like, and the promise is engagement. Again, like gamification, the promise is also engagement, but a different element added to it is motivation. So and we're always going to have these talks where we pick up a learning and teaching principle and see how we can apply that in the classroom. Thank you very much. It's now 5:06, and You have such a lovely day, everyone. And thank you very much for coming here. Thank you very much, Raja. Thank you very much, Jennifer, again. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.